Hi everyone, it's Abia again, and today we are exploring ocean currents. This topic has really interested me since we have been talking about Ben Lecomte in AP Bio. Ben is swimming across the whole Pacific Ocean on a trip called the Longest Swim. To find out more about the Longest Swim, read my blogs. My main question is, how do the ocean currents affect the aquatic ecosystem? To answer this very broad question, 3 smaller questions will also be addressed along this video. Let's dive right in. Let's start out with what a current is. Currents are horizontal, continuous, and direct movements of water that travel in patterns. Scientists have mapped out these patterns and have labeled them. This image shows all of the currents and their paths. This is footage of how currents move over time all over the world. Currents are caused by gravity, wind direction, and the rotation of Earth, tides, and waves. The location and the speed of a current is dependent on the coastline and the seafloor. Surface currents transfer heat from equatorial areas to poles, so they influence the climate of the planet. Deep ocean currents are a result of varying water densities and water temperatures. This idea is called thermohaline, which is the gradient of water densities and temperatures in the ocean. Eddies are currents that move in a whirlpool, like shown in this picture. This is a lot of information, but all of these terminologies will be very important in understanding the effects of ocean currents. So, on to the main question. What is the effect of ocean currents on aquatic, biotic, and abiotic factors? Many organisms that have limited mobility depend on currents to provide food and to disperse larvae and other reproductive cells. For example, coral reefs consume plankton that come through the current since they cannot move. Estuaries are bodies of water and their surrounding coastal habitats. Estuaries contain brackish water that is a mixture of fresh and salty water, so estuaries are home to very unique organisms. These animals depend on currents to cycle nutrients and provide transportation for organisms, such as turtles. For example, Nemo in Finding Nemo lives in an estuary that is near the current.
Dory and marlin are shown here in the current that is providing transportation like a highway.
Upwelling currents bring cold water from the bottom of the ocean to the surface, transferring nutrient and organic material-rich water to the top. This matter is vital to organisms, and the material is only found below the surface. Downwelling is the exact opposite. It is the movement of surface water down by pressure. This causes density changes so that the oxygen-rich water of the surface is provided to the deep water organisms. Climate change is also changing the currents and the tides in the ocean. As the ocean temperature rises, the location and strength of the current change, which will affect the organisms. If the salinity and temperature of water increase, the environment changes, and some organisms may not be able to withstand those changes. Let's apply this information to the longest swim. For the first leg of his journey, Ben has been swimming in the Kuroshio Current. As of September 23rd, Ben has been swimming south of the current leading into an eddy. The colors on the map show the strength of the current, from blue being the weakest to red being the strongest. As you can see, the Kuroshio Current is extremely strong. The teal arrows show the current, the eddies, and Ben. Ben and his crew are trying to avoid the current, as the Kuroshio will add a few hundred miles to their journey.
The team aims to go east and north of the eddy to avoid being caught in the eddy, since the eddy is going clockwise. If they get stuck in the eddy, they will have to follow the eddy south, then resume their original path. To achieve moving out of the current and the eddy, Ben Lecomte will have to swim faster to counteract the push. Wow, the currents really affect the longest swim.
I hope you learned something new and interesting with this video. Currents are very cool and really worth investigating. See you next time!